Hey guys, Crafty here from Living in Beta, and today we have a farming slash exploit video for you reflecting on patch 1.3 and more specifically on any of the guides that we've personally made on the channel and if they still work. Now of course it's important to note that there are many exploits in Cyberpunk across the board, but we're going to focus on those that help with building up your eddies and slash or farming XP or street cred. This list also is not exhaustive. Patch 1.3 has only been out for just over a week or so. Things may come to light in the future, but don't you worry. If something pops up, be sure that we will feed that straight back to you on this channel. Hit the subscribe button, wink wink. Now to accompany the video, we'll be listing the more in-depth guides that we've created in the description below and be using this video as a kind of a whistle-stop tour of what's working and what's not, with brief descriptions on how things are done. We're not going to go into too much detail. We've got videos for that, but we'll at least let you know the kind of basis of what needs to be done to complete slash exploit or farming route. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this one. Let's get into it. Now to make this video slightly more interesting for you all, more relevant as well, we thought we would start with the eddy makers that do still work and then move on to the farm spots that still work, and then at the back end of the video we'll tell you what does not work. As you know, as you can probably see, we are beginning in my most favoured place in Night City, the left hand side of Hayward, with the closest fast travel point being Canary Plaza. Why are we here? Well, we're going to talk about the famous crafting eddy maker that is the Ashura. So as you probably know, or if you don't know, the premise of this eddy making exploit or guide is around obtaining the schematic for the Ashura. It can be found in Night City, and then once you obtain it, you have the ability to of course craft it. Now without having any perks, crafting perks or anything like that set up, you'll have a component limit of 22 rare item components, 22 epic item components, and still 2 legendary item components. Now, it's interesting to note that to purchase all of those components, it would cost around 1,000 eddies. Now, with crafting being as it is and being quite a big thing in the technical tree, you of course can have a lot of perks here that's going to allow you to make it cheaper. So the main one being reducing the component cost of crafting items by 30% from cost optimization. Now, of course, as we've said at the start, we will link the big video because it's quite an in-depth guide of how to really make the most out of this, I guess, guide or exploit. But it's important to note that you at least need to be able to craft legendary items, of course, and it's very beneficial to have our best friend Ex Nihilo. So the premise, well, you'll be crafting the Ashura, as I said, at different level increments. There'll be different costs associated to what the weapon will cost once you've crafted it. But at every level increment, we displayed in the video 10, 20, 32 being this character, and 50. The weapon is always going to sell for more than what you purchased the components for. Now, weirdly, I don't know if this is supposed to have happened, but when it comes to the current state of the game in patch 1.3, it actually costs even cheaper now when you have the perk set. So even though it's still 17.2, I think back end of 1.23 it would cost around 700 to 800 eddies to buy the components, and you're still selling it at a flat, almost this round up at 3k eddies. But now it works out to be around 600 component cost with the perks, being very cheap to purchase this and then obviously sell the item. So you're just again, craft the item as many times as you want, making use of the components you currently have. Of course, Ex Nihilo gives you the option to sometimes craft one for free. And then once you've crafted the amount you've got, they're obviously the amount that can come out of the components that you've got, they'll of course be in your backpack, you can see here. And then you would sell these to your nearest vendor. The reason why I choose the location that I've said at the start is because it has a nice clothing store, weapon store, fast travel point. There's a what's it called, a thingy over there, a loot place to sell stuff. There's a better name for it, who knows. And then you'd go in here and you would of course sell the weapon for, like I said, nearly 3k, confirm that, and you can obviously, once you've sold them all, he or she, the vendor, will have the ability to buy the components off them as well. So you can see here, just for reference, so you know, if I want to buy the 2 legendary components that it takes to make 1 Ashura, that's 88. If I was to buy the 17 epic components that it takes to make it, that's 306. And then if I was to buy the 17 epic components that it took to make it, you'd be looking at 204. Now, as you know, just quick maths, definitely cheaper than selling 1. So yeah, that's a kind of a whistle-stop guide on what to do with the Ashura. The link down below will give you a more in-depth guide on the perks and where to find the schematic itself. But big green thumbs up for this one. This one's still rocking, and it's probably even better, to be honest. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, so the main way of making eddies, once again in patch 1.3, as it is in every other patch, is the mighty Sasquatch glitch. She's still around and still there for us to milk for all her XP, street cred, and eddies. Now you want to make sure, as you can see on the right hand side, to be on the I Walk the Line quest line. It's a big quest chain. There'll be a video in the description for you to follow. But essentially what we're going to do here is go up to the Sasquatch and dispatch of her. Making sure you enjoy the fight, because she has you know, some banter about her. Pick up a great big hammer. Don't get hit by that thing. That will send you on your ass. And then you want to try and make use of the back of it if you can. I am obviously a katana, big fan of the katana, so I will dispatch as I seem fit. So you want to not fully kill the Sasquatch, you just want to down her and make sure she's still available to be killed, like so. And then you'll say that you think she's had enough. And once she's down, you want to save the game. So she's down here. You can see that she's not fully dead because the little blue, I guess, reticle on my screen still comes up red there. This is where you want to save the game in a brand spanking new save, like so. And then you want to kill her, take the items, and then save the game again in a brand spanking new spot, like so. And then you want to go back and load that game. Like so, and when you come back, she should still be killable again, making it available to then get the XP, street cred, and eddies from her. Again, baffles me that it's still available. You think this would be something they would patch sooner rather than later. It must be linked to a lot of big changes in the game. Maybe they see it as, you can see here my reticle is now red again to kill her. Maybe they see this as a, because it's such a niche way of getting eddies and XP and street cred, you need to be at a certain part of the game. Once you've done it, you can't go back. Maybe they see that as a way of, you know, allowing it to be there. But yeah, this one still works in patch 1.3. Make use of it as you will. But remember, the Sasquatch may go away soon. So make most of her right now. Now we move on to the farming spots in Night City. There's 2 massive ones we've covered on the channel. And the first one we're going to start with is the farming spot down at West Wing Apartments in the West Wing estate of Pacifica. This obviously has been covered a couple of times by us, depending on what kind of side you partner with in some of the missions in game. Again, links down below for a more in-depth guide. But essentially, you have the choice of the Netrunners or staying with the Voodoo Boys, and this will bring you to this spot here. Now, there's a route that we would take that will change depending on who you partnered with. The route I'm going to show you right now is going to be for the Netrunners, but it's not too dissimilar when partnering the Voodoo Boys. Again, videos down below will show you. But this still works, which is great. You would still kill these guys like you would here. Now, of course, picking up and looting their bodies is more prevalent than ever due to the fact that, you know, there's no duplication glitch at the moment, and we're only relying on the old Sasquatch for our gold and, sorry, our eddies and our XP. And then you would move around here and chop the heads off these guys here. There is also a longer route if you want to go down into the construction site here and pick off Netrunner enemies in there, and then you'll work your way around, of course, like always, There's sometimes enemies there to do with a battle that's going on, or you know, like a mini interaction. You see here, these are already dead from a previous trip round I've taken. These guys are suddenly still standing here though. You're free, guys. You're free. Leave. Anyway, moving on from them, you'll go down this alleyway here and you'll slice and dice these guys here. Of course, chopping them up, and then you'll take a left and go up this dirt path here. And there'll be a construction site. Watch out for the mini boss that is cars. Sorry, love. And chop up these guys here. You can see loot that's already on the ground, so people are not going to start using the living it. Oh, he's back to life. I don't want people to start using the living in beta tissues. It's not a glitch. It's not a bug. I've killed enemies here before. Then you work your way around. And chop up these guys who are watching an episode of Friends, and then pick off these guys who are, I don't know, trying to be Logan Paul against some sort of boxing has-been. Anyway, moving on, and then you'll work your way around here, go through this little construction site here slash I guess homeless community, and there should be some enemies here. I've already popped them off, sadly, so we'll move on from there. You'll hop the fence in any of the way that you have, be it the double jump, the big jump, or just general, and you'll come to the corner of the road over here, and there'll be enemies on the corner. You'll take them out as so, or you'll miss them like that for a laugh, and then you'll work your way around again, taking a sharp left. Now, as you know, this is a well-known route really when it comes to farming XP and street cred and even loot now at this stage, which it generates eddies. But it's important to note that your route may look a little bit different. I have said that in the video below, because a lot of these things unlock after certain things you do in game, be it side quests or just little things you do in game. But bear in mind, it'll be very similar. You just may not have everything. Watch out about killing NPCs or pedestrians when you do that, because the police will kick off at you. And you work your way around here, straight through the shrubberies, take out these geezers here, and work your way up the stairs, take out these geezers here. Shout out to the guy in the comments that's going to say why you playing it on easy, because it's too hard otherwise, mate. Alright, then you'll pop off this guy here. Now, there will be some enemies here if you've partnered with Voodoo Boys, but again, you already know that. Take out Big Jeff, and then you'll slice and dice these here. There we're gonna, and then you will get back to the start. And as you can see, the legends over there have now spawned, and as you work your way back round, everything will have spawned again. So yeah, that's the farming route Pacifica. Again, it alters the route depending on who you partner with. I know I've said that a lot, just want to hit that one home before I get comments around it being different. The videos for in-depth though are below. Both routes will be below, so check out the one that suits you and enjoy it. Let's go to the next route. Now, the last farming spot brings us to our top viewed video on the channel so far, and it is the Santo Domingo farming spot. So you want to come to the obviously Santo Domingo area of Night City, and in the middle, closest to the Metro Mega Building H7 fast travel point, and aiming to be on the left hand side of this building here. Of course, you can also go to the Arasaka Industrial Park and work your way up. Now, essentially what this one is about is entering this kind of courtyard here, dispatching of all the enemies in there, and then working your way out, and then waiting 24 hours and rinse and repeat. Now, again, the video will be below, like I say, like a parrot. There's usually a little bit different enemies showing up in this area, so I would put this at a, it does still work, but it's a bit different slot if there was one. There used to be an enemy here, used to be enemies around that table over there, used to be a car here with an enemy on it. I've tested out different times of day, and it's so random. They don't always spawn or don't spawn at all anymore, but it doesn't mean we can't use it. There's still enemies here. So there's another party going on. You'll just dispatch all the enemies in it. So remember, don't kill the civilians if you can help it, because you'll get the coppers on you, or the NCPD for those who want to RP. So you'll take out these around this car, and then you will notice that there's no vehicle there. There's also no guys taking a selfie here in a vehicle, but there is still the triple threat here that I don't think was actually there before, and the sofa guys who were there before. Maybe this vehicle used to be over there, not too sure, but it is interesting to note it's not where it was. And sometimes if you shot in a distance here, you would aggro, different enemies, but it doesn't seem to be the case at the moment. And you'll work your way around here, and there used to be enemies by this vehicle here as well, and then you would pick them off and work your way around here, and then wait 24 hours at this road. Now, like I said, the spawn situation is very random. I haven't seen a consistent spawn type of the amount of enemies that spawn in that area, which makes me making it more of a maybe now than ever before. The Pacifica one is very consistent. Enemies always spawn, no matter who you side with. This one used to be as consistent and give you a lot more bodies in the area, but it doesn't seem to be the case at the moment. So once you've waited out 24 hours, you'll come back round and you'll hope that enemies have spawned. But at the moment, they have not. There's a couple over here, so it's very inconsistent, as you can see, which is frustrating. This used to be my favorite, still kind of is my favorite, but it's not consistent enough to be able to drive those high numbers you need for XP, street cred, and kills. What my advice on this area is kind of try it a few times. If you really do like it and get the most out of it, then do so. I have pinned a comment stating that it does still work. There's been a time where I ran far away, skipped time, come back, and the enemies were back. So I think it's kind of, you have to play around on this one. A little bit sad that it's kind of only half working now, but the Pacifica one is the go-to and it's very consistent. But yeah, that's that. Now, when it comes to highlighting what doesn't work anymore, there's only one real thing to talk about, at least associated to our channel, and it's the duplication glitch. This was something we highlighted a lot and made use of, to be honest, achieving a lot of achievements in the game that required a lot of money. Now, it's a two-prong nerf to this glitch more than anything. Firstly, they've changed the price of junk. Now, you'll know that back in the day it used to be paintings that we used to duplicate, and then we'd make a lot of money off them, and then we moved on to junk items like the silver wrap earring, for example, and they'd be sellable at 750. They did the first mini nerf where buying them back cost a lot, but we were still able to milk around 12.5k eddies from a drop point each time we did the duplication glitch. Now they've made it 150 and stopped the duplication glitch working. So I'm a bit funny about the price nerf, because I think this is quite a good way of just making eddies legitimately in game. You know, selling weapons and armor is going to be kind of the only way to get those big bucks now, he says, and there is a couple here, but in general that little cheeky 750 going forward was nice. Like, you know, in my travels, at least on my main, before I did any duplication glitches, I managed to get 20 to 30 junk items, and that was a good little, you know, eddies hike when I finally sold them. Now, the glitch itself required you to obviously press the button that would open the sell menu on the drop point, depending on your platform. It's Y for me because I'm on Xbox, and then the select button on my controller, options button on PlayStations, or whatever button on the PC. You'd press them together and it would open a menu. Now, I will do this a few times just to make sure you guys notice that it actually doesn't work. I promise you I'm pressing them at the same time. You can see there, select menu opened first, and then the Y menu opened. Test it yourself though. From many reliable sources, they have told me that it no longer works, which is upsetting. It was kind of the main way to make eddies in game that wasn't tied to, you know, progression in a story or anything like that. But yes, RIP the duplication glitch. It's a goner for now. We hope it comes back. So there it is, ladies and gents. That brings us to the end of our exploit/farming spot overview in patch 1.3. As mentioned in the intro, all the content covered in this video is guides that we have pushed on our own channel. There are many more exploits and glitches that may still be working in patch 1.3, but we just wanted to cover those, which increase the eddies in your pocket and the XP/street cred on your back. Although this is a very brief look, all the in-depth guides will be displayed for your viewing pleasure in the description below. Also, in the interest of a shameless plug, we have social media accounts for you to follow now. Why not hop on over and read, watch and take part in all things living in beta. Info for those are appearing on screen right now and will be clickable down below. So much is down below, who knew there was so much space? Anyways, as always, thank you so much for watching. Drop a like on the video if you liked it, share with your friends, subscribe for more content like this, and remember, don't be a gonk. P.s. If you're feeling sad about anything in this video, living in beta 12 plight issues will be available soon. We catch your eye juice so you don't have to.